I'm ranking Sonny with a Chance episodes like 15 years after the show flopped. And this show used to be my jam. I liked all the other popular ones, like Sweet Life on Lake Hannah Montana and the Wizards. I loved all that, but this one was my jam. And now after rewatching it for this video, I think it was just because Demi was my main girl. And I watched every single episode like 5 million times. I really think Disney fumbled the bag on this one. It could have been literally as good as I thought it was when I was a kid, but Disney just had to ruin it. Like, they had gold in their hands and they just tossed it in the trash. I don't even know if this show was popular or not, because none of the other kids I went to school with talked about this show. But I mean, at that time it was super uncool to watch Disney. Like, we were in first grade being like, Hannah Montana's so lame. And I was like, totally, you guys. Like, I never even watched Hannah Montana. Like, it's so lame. So I don't know if this one was generally popular the way the other ones were. But let's get into it. Let's get into it, because being an adult in 2025 is totally lame, and that's the only way I can get back to being an 8-year-old in 2010.
Hey, I'm Demi Lovato from Sonny with a Chance, and you're watching Disney Channel.
So here we have 5 tiers. This is the worst. This is the best. Chad, Chatty, Chad. That one is the best, of course. And then Chad's Mutant Looper is the worst, because it's bootleg Chad, and that's one of the worst things that Chad's ever done. So then on top of that we have Mackenzie Stalls, which is not as bad as being the absolute worst, but it's still crap because Stalls. Then in the middle we have Sicky Vicky, because overall I like this sketch, but it can get real annoying real fast. It can be good, it can be bad. It had potential, but maybe didn't live up to it, or it had potential to actually be super terrible, but somehow it wasn't. And then we also have the Check It Out tier, which is also good, but not as great as Chad, of course.
Meet Sonny Monroe from Disney Channel's Sonny with a Chance.
Hi, I'm Sonny. Why am I being touched? I'm a hugger.
She's new in Hollywood
I just want to be as good as you in my first show as you are in every show.
and won't let the big time change her.
You've got a big head. Did you not? I'm the same girl that I was back home in Wisconsin. Cool.
She's ready for whatever they can throw at her. Demi Lovato stars in Disney Channel's newest original comedy, Sonny with a Chance.
And surprisingly to me, looking back, the first episode didn't feature Chad at all. I kind of had mixed these two episodes together in my mind somehow. I assume it's because maybe they aired them together. I feel like at the beginning, Nico and Grady weren't supposed to be this close. It kind of felt more competitive with them at the beginning. Maybe they were always supposed to be like inseparable, super close besties, and it just so happened that our introduction to them was like this. But it took them like a whole season and counting to get to a point where they have like this sort of rivalry the way they do in the pilot. So it kind of feels like they're not supposed to be as tight as they were. Tony was with everything about this pilot growing up, and she still holds up. Her character does fizzle out pretty quickly in the series, all things considered, and I remember really loving her character. So I was surprised to see it fizzle out, but I mean, everybody got flanderized, so... But like, that is more so her episode than Sonny's. Sonny's just like bobbling around, smiling a lot. I'm going to put this one and check it out. Pretty solid, great pilot. It's about one of the fundamental parts of the series, which is the dynamic between Tony and Sonny, which again loses its spark in season 2. But it's a solid pilot.
Meet Chad Dylan Cooper from Sonny with a Chance. He's charmed everyone on the studio lot.
Oh my gosh, you're Mackenzie from Mackenzie Falls.
Okay, maybe not everyone.
This 3-named doofus is the enemy.
Confidence doesn't always come from acting school.
I was brilliant.
Some people are just born with it.
You do think you're better than us.
Not better, just different. In a better way.
Chad Dylan Cooper, part of Sonny with a Chance.
Then we have the second episode. This one is top tier for sure. This one is exactly what the show is. If you put the show in a nutshell, it's this episode. Like I said, I don't know much about how this show was received amongst my peers when I was a kid, but I was obsessed with shipping Sonny and Chad, Channy, if you will. This is exactly what the show is about. Everybody, again, I assume, but everybody started watching this show because of Demi Lovato, but they stayed because of Channy. Because the show outside of Channy, when it's just the randoms, when it's just the sketch comedy, it's pretty mediocre, pretty unmemorable. What surprised me is that it's a pretty obvious iCarly ripoff that I never noticed as a kid because I wasn't that much into iCarly. I probably watched like one episode of iCarly as a kid, not even a full one. I thought it would be just like SNL for kids, which I mean it kind of is. But it's mostly kind of copying iCarly, which apparently was drama at the time. But without Sonny and Chad and their dynamic and this ship, the show wouldn't really be watchable. Not that it would be like that super awful, but it just would be disinteresting. And that's what was the problem for me with the So Random spin-off. Because like, what's the point? I need the characters to have a story, to have a purpose. And I think they just didn't realize what made the show good, and that wasn't the randoms, that wasn't anything else. It was literally just Sonny and Chad. And so when they ruined their ship, they ruined the show because they ruined the dynamic between them. They flanderized both of them, especially Chad. Instead of evolving their dynamic, it completely devolved. The show was left to be just a shell of its former self. And that's why I think they genuinely didn't realize what made the show good. Because in season 2, it's way more about the randoms. And random stuff happening to the randoms. Not even the sketch show. That's another thing about kids shows, mostly on Nickelodeon again, because this is heavily inspired by those shows. They tend to be about something, but that thing stops being important and just devolves into a regular high school show. They have like 2 episodes that are centered around the sketch comedy show, and one of them is the pilot. Then they have other ones that feature it in the background, and others where it just feels like it's non-existent. Like if they had made season 3, they would have added this cafe set where Sonny would have performed. They even have that scene where Tony is like, as if you don't have a TV show that you can perform on. Hello? We're not gonna do that, even though we've already done it twice. What we're gonna do is we're gonna add a coffee shop set so she can sing there. That's what we're gonna do. So it stops being about the sketch show completely, and it just literally starts being about random things.
You've met Sonny and her friends at So Random, but lurking on a nearby set
Who is talking while I'm acting?
are Chad, Dylan, Cooper, and the Cool Kids.
You need to drive a wedge between her and the others, huh?
And they're trying to take Sonny to Mackenzie Falls.
Quaint little town nestled at the corner of life and dreams.
Is she really gonna fall for this?
Sonny!
Sonny? Sonny? What am I doing here?
Sonny with a Chance.
This is another great episode. I'm not sure if it's worthy of the Chad tier or the check it out. I might put it in the Chad tier for now, I might remove it later, but this is another episode that is very heavy on the Chad and Sonny dynamic that we know and love. And that was the point of the whole show, Disney. It was the core of the whole show. A great episode. I might move it slightly lower later on, but I'm gonna put it here for now.
Sonny's not getting fan mail,
Doesn't bother me. Hello? Does it bother you now?
so she becomes her own biggest fan.
Do I know you?
Nobody knows me.
Watch a mysterious Sonny with a Chance.
The 4th episode again goes in top tier. That one's not gonna stay crowded for super long, but the first few episodes are just golden. I think I remember this episode the most vividly. 8-year-old me was eating this episode up. And also what's great about this is that other episodes tend to either be about Sonny and Chad or Sonny and Tawny. Or some of them are just about nothing, but especially from the first like 6 or 7 episodes, all about either Sonny and Tawny or Sonny and Chad. And I think this one is combining it in the best way. And it's also funny. It's also still funny. My biggest worry when deciding to rewatch this was that I thought the comedy is just gonna be so lame and like so kiddish, but a lot of those things are still very funny. I might put this one all the way up over here, or maybe here. Yeah, no, I'm gonna put it all the way over as the #1 ranked episode.
Why are you helping me?
I'm not helping you. I'm just going to try on the beard.
Sounds like somebody cares.
Somebody wanted to try on a weird beard.
Cares.
Beards.
Cares.
Beards.
Cares.
Beards.
Beards.
Cares.
Gotcha.
I think it might have been my favorite episode as a kid. This episode confirms that Chad is actually into Sonny. He's not just like teasing her, because this is the first of long line of moments where he does things for her that don't benefit him in anyway, but he still cares. If only he had cared as much when they were actually dating. But this is a great episode.
Hey, check out Sonny's math grade.
Very disappointed. You're off the show.
No! Marshall, what about the Check It Out girls?
Yesterday I got a manicure. Check it out!
Sonny with a chance.
Then we have the Check It Out girls, which, I mean, I guess I should put it in the Check It Out tier. But again, I'm kind of torn between the first tier and this one. Maybe over here. And maybe it's because of this episode that I thought they ended up doing the Check It Out skit a lot more than they did. But it's a great episode. It's funny. I love how her mom's nagging her to do well in school. Meanwhile, all she cares about is turning the Check It Out girls into those two guys from The Amanda Show. You know the ones. I don't know them off the top of my head because I wasn't a Nickelodeon kid, but you know the ones. But what I'm thinking about now as an adult is who was writing these sketches, because sometimes it's implied that the kids are writing them, like Sonny's written some of them, but then also other times they just receive scripts and they pick from the scripts. So I guess maybe both. I guess in real life you could do both. Did they come up with the Check It Out girls, or was that written for them? But anyway, another solid episode, and I think this one, minus the pilot of course, is the only one that doesn't feature the Sonny Chad dynamic that actually works, because some of the others don't feature it in the forefront, but they still have some moments here and there. But this one is not about them at all. It is the only one that is like this, that is actually good, actually memorable. But I mean, I guess Tony is just a female Chad, same like the pilot. If it's about Tony and Sonny's original dynamic, it still works.
It's the Chadtastic Party of the Year.
You should get me a gift.
See, I didn't really have time to shop.
Security!
And Sonny's gonna crash it.
Is there still one Chad standing? Huh?
Then we have the episode that's a slight deviation of the usual Tony-Sonny dynamic, but again it works because it feels like it's evolving. And you also have some Channy moments, so that box is also checked.
Oh my gosh, what happened to you? You okay?
Not really.
No, baby.
Might put it in here. Should I put it here? Over here. I don't know how I never realized that Sue Heck was Sonny's friend. She was literally the absolute most perfect choice in the world to play Sonny's friend. Too bad they never brought her back. I mean, I guess that adds to why the episode is so great. But instead of bringing Grady's brother back, they could have brought Sue Heck back. I also think she would have been a good choice to actually play Sonny. I can't imagine anybody else doing Sonny except for Demi and also Sue Heck. Like, it would have been great if we could have seen her in that episode where Sonny goes back to Wisconsin. Like, I don't think her friend would miss that. And maybe she could have, like, tried to help her or something.
A popular gossip blog
This just in. Sunny's hair is fab, and Tawny's hair is drag.
gets in Tawny's head.
I may as well not have any hair at all.
Sonny with a chance.
Then this episode, I'm not sure where to rank it. It's about... Maybe I should have been giving summaries to the episodes because I assume not everybody has watched them yesterday like I have. But this lady writes a mean article about Tawny. Sonny tries to meddle and she makes it worse. Of course, like always. But then she ends up saving the day. As a kid, I really loved the way this mean gossip columnist lady was typing on her computer with pencils. That just resonated to 8-year-old me for some reason. I did like that character a lot, even though it's the overly cartoonish villain type of thing. I think it worked, but I'm not sure where to put the episode as a whole. So I'm just gonna put it in the middle for now. And for the B-plot, I really like the way they decided to pair up Chad with Nico and Grady here, because sometimes it just feels so forced when they have Chad just hanging out with the randoms for no reason. The best way they go about this to make it feel natural is if they have them prank each other. And this time we have Nico and Grady wanting something from Chad and Chad just taking the piss at them. It doesn't feel like they just wanted to put Sterling Knight in the episode and didn't know exactly what to do with Chad. As long as Sterling was in the episode, they would be fine, just they didn't care what Chad does. But I like his dynamic with the other randoms when it's done right. You know, when it doesn't just feel like, oh, he just contractually had to be in the episode. Whereas, yeah, Chad would be actually doing this with the randoms. He would be taking the piss at them that way. Or the randoms would be taking the piss at him in that way. You know, it makes sense. Because I really like his dynamic with Tawny. Because they're kind of the same character, really, if you think about it. And Nico and Grady make everything great. Also, that one episode where he was paired with Zoro was really funny. So I like his dynamic with the randoms. But I think they need to keep in mind that he doesn't like them. They don't like him. So when they're hanging out, the best way to do it is one is pranking the other. And so I really like this episode. The B plot line was also strong, and also the main plot line. Now that I'm editing this video, I kind of wish I placed a lot of those episodes higher, but I'm going to hold out hope that I kind of shuffle up the ranking as we exit season 1. Because if this was just season 1 ranking, I would agree with it, but because it's both of the seasons rankings, I would put some of the episodes from the second tier in the first, and this one that's in the middle right now, I'd have put it in the second. But it's not up to me, it's up to past me, so let's get back to her.
Chad tries to improve his reputation.
I want people to know me for who I'm not.
But will he wreck Sonny's?
You poser! You are the most self-absorbed, seated jerk face I've ever met. They only showed the part that made me look bad.
Then the next episode was not that memorable to me, but I think it was very vague when I talked about it in the original ranking. So I'm going to completely scrap that and talk about it now. The ranking's not going to change, of course, because it's already in that video. And I would still probably put it towards the middle because it's not one of the most memorable episodes to me. It has one really great Sonny and Chad scene that I'm going to talk about later.
Well played, Monroe.
Props accepted.
We should hang out sometime.
Camera's off, Chad.
I know.
But it doesn't save it the way that the other episodes who have scenes like that save it, because the episodes themselves had other substance that I liked. This one is just meh. This one might be the only Channy episode like that that I would love on paper, but it just doesn't work for me. I didn't love it as a kid. I don't love it now. It's not bad by any means. I would much rather rewatch that over a lot of the season 2 episodes. So Sonny's going to be interviewed, and Chad wants to take the opportunity to make himself look better. But then when Sonny sees that and tells him off, the people who were doing this interview on her record this outburst, and that gives Sonny bad press. And then when they're recording a similar interview for Chad, Sonny tries to make herself look better, and she also tries to expose Chad. And then Sonny gets him, and then they have this moment. It might be the first moment where Chad is like fully openly hitting on her without him pretending like he doesn't care and he's just messing with her. That's the first time where they play it off for real, and I really love that moment. But then again, the whole rest of the episode, I just don't care for that much. Like, I don't know. Because on paper, when I'm reading the premise or when I'm retelling you the premise, it sounds like something that I would eat up, especially because the B plot was also great. It was one of the better B plots, I think. I wasn't just like, oh, just cut to the chase. I don't want to see that. Actually, the B plot might have been a little bit more funny to me than the main plot. In the B plot, Nico and Grady sell Tony's stuff. And that's something else too. Like, Tony is a diva because she is famous. She might not be as famous as like the guys on Mackenzie Falls, but that's because their show is just more popular. However, Tony has also been like a child actor at the same time that Chad has been a child actor. And even though Chad might be more popular than her, like, Tony is still very popular in that universe. Like, she makes them loads of money. And there's also another thing about that that I will get to in a second. But I just want to talk about right now how much of a miss it was for them to turn Tony from this diva to this kind of like nobody. Like, in season 1, she is this diva that's jealous of Sonny, but like, she's still famous. She is just mean about not wanting to share the spotlight at all. Whereas in season 2, everybody's treating Tony like she's a nobody. So like, her fears did come true. That makes her kind of right, not wanting to share the spotlight with Sonny, but also makes her feel very like pathetic and weak as a character. Like, she's no threat at all. She just becomes one of the other dumb randoms that cannot function without Sonny there, which is unfortunate because I loved Tony's character and I loved Tony and Sonny's dynamic. Usually when Disney does this frenemies thing. It's like they drill into your head that they're friends when they're acting like they're not friends, kind of like London and Maddie, which I kind of hate because it ruined my childhood to rewatch that show and realize that London and Maddie hate each other, but for some reason they want to convince you that they're best friends, and they were like, oh, we're best friends, But like, no, they hate each other. Whereas with Tony and Sonny, they're not pretending to be best friends. It's an interesting dynamic to explore. They're not trying to gaslight you with it, but then they ruin it because Tony becomes irrelevant. But putting this rant aside for now, this B-plot raises a very important question. The whole reason why Nico and Grady are selling Tony's stuff is because they don't have money to afford nice things. And that raises some ethical questions because the show that they are on might not be as popular as Mackenzie Falls, but it's pretty much the second show that is like neck and neck and they have lots of fans. They get like tons and tons of fan mail. Their show is successful, so they are making money, they're making buck. So why do they not have that money? Is it because they're like 16, 17 at most and their parents are keeping that money safe for their higher education, or just until they're more responsible with money so that they don't just blow it all on stupid stuff like the way Nico and Grady obviously would? Is that why? Or are their parents stealing their money, which leaves them being completely broke? Because if they can make so much money out of Tony's stuff, why isn't Tony like super mega rich? When she has a fight with her mom later on, she has to live with Sonny. She can't even afford a hotel. And we know that Tony's mom for sure is this type of a ruthless momager. We know nothing about Nico's parents, and we know that Grady's parents kind of prefer his brother over him, but are Nico and Grady's parents and also Tony's parents stealing their money? Because I would say Sonny's mom would be responsible enough to keep that money for college, and Sonny will be the type of girl to like pause entertainment to do college. She'll be that type of girl. So I trust Sonny's mom. All of their moms and dads I do not trust. I think they're hoarding their money and blowing it on themselves and living their overworked child actors' children in the mud. So even though this episode raises this important question, I just don't know, like, overall I don't care about it. I think I should because, again, the B-plot line is solid, it's not annoying. On paper, it's at least a second tier episode, but in reality, like, it's just not that memorable for me. As much as that one scene at the end between Sonny and Chad is an important milestone for them, I not only forget that it happened in this episode, but sometimes I forget that it happened at all. Whereas every other milestone of theirs has been, like, stamped in my brain. Maybe nostalgia has a lot more to play in this. Maybe I just didn't watch this episode that much as a kid because I don't remember it as vividly, or maybe I watched it just as many times but it just wasn't memorable. I don't know, I can't tell you. I don't have the photographic memory to be able to go back and count how many times I watched each episode as a kid to be able to compare. All this to say, I agree with my initial ranking for this episode. I just feel like there was so much to talk about for this episode and I talked about nothing, so I just want to insert this over here.
Kelly Blass swoops in on Sonny with a chance.
You'll still never take me alive!
And he's gonna make things real simple.
My name's James Conroy, and I'd like to take you out tonight.
There's nothing complicated about that.
And now episode 10, where Sonny dates this guy that's a guest star on Mackenzie Falls. It turns out Tony has also dated him before and he's an asshole. This one was my absolute most favorite episode as a kid. Is it still my absolute most favorite episode? I don't know. These two are just so good. And of course, this is more Channy than this one. But this was the beginning, you know? This was the beginning seeds. I might keep this one in second place for now, but it was just so great. If I have to pick straws, maybe the Nico and Grady plotline here wasn't as strong as they usually are, but also it introduced Murphy. Notice a pattern here, you have both of these two episodes with Sonny and Tony and also Channy moments. I specifically remember, I have this vivid memory of me as a kid watching this episode after I first watched the whole show from beginning to end. After I knew what they're gonna do to Chad and Sonny, I was feeling like, yeah, let's end it at this episode. It doesn't get better than this episode for them. It really doesn't. And it's a shame because I was looking at it and I was like, they could have taken their relationship so far. But that's kind of like the beginning of the end, like it's the beginning. But if you watch the show all the way through and you come back to this episode, it also kind of feels like the end. I don't know. It might sound a little dramatic, but I was very dramatic as a kid, and I specifically have this memory of thinking all these things while watching this episode, and we get to the end, and that dude rolls away, and then Chad rolls away, and that feeling hits me of like, this is kind of the end here. It really is. Also, at that time, I remember being very excited that the guy that was Sunny's crush for this episode was from a different show that I used to watch, but at this point I don't remember. I obviously googled him to see what show he was on, but like I have no memory watching that show. Yet I specifically remember that as a kid I was excited to see that guy on the show because I liked his other thing. But I don't know. I just apparently I've just blocked that other show out of my mind. But usually when I'm reminded of an old show I watched, all of the memories start pouring in. But like for this one, I just have no memory at all. Wasn't there like a dog that was like a robot dog and it made me wanna get one of those robot dog toys? Was that a thing? There was like a girl and a robot dog. Was that a thing?
Sonny's creating a dream day
Ambassador fun.
for one special little girl.
Is Chad on the tour?
No.
Then put him on the tour! Okay. Get out of my way, old lady.
Sonny with a chance.
Then the Dakota episode, that's another very, very strong one. All of Dakota's other appearances kind of conflict with this one because the point here is that she is scamming Sonny in this way to pretend to be a needy kid because her dad doesn't just let her roam around the set, which makes sense because she's a child. And she also doesn't want to reveal her Chad obsession to her dad because, again, she's a child. Every other appearance of hers has kind of been in contradiction to this, but maybe as she grew up a little bit, her dad loosened up. Or maybe the showrunners didn't care about the reasoning that they gave that she scammed Sonny like that. So for the rewatch, I wasn't sure if I was gonna like this episode as much as I liked it when I was a kid because I remember having conflicting feelings about Dakota. I remember really, really liking her character in some places, but also being like annoyed in other places. I also remember having conflicting feelings about Dakota as a character. I remember really liking her sometimes and being really annoyed at her some other times, but also that could just be because G. Cornelius was literally in every Disney show at that time, and also she was in some other kids movies as well. She was popping around literally everywhere. So if there was another movie where I found her annoying because it was kind of her thing, like being the little annoying girl, I probably assumed that Dakota was annoying, but like Dakota is like evil in an interesting way, I feel like. But then again, they use her too much. It just gets too much. Like it becomes like instead of her being this grand villain that pops up like once per season, it starts being like, oh yeah, Dakota's here. It's another Dakota episode. Kid shows love to do that. Shows love to do that in general, where they have like a good villain and they ruin it by just not knowing when too much of a good thing actually turns into a bad thing. But yeah, this episode was great.
Sonny's thrown a secret prom.
You're officially uninvited.
Well, good, because we officially wouldn't have come anyway.
And everyone's having a good time.
Good.
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 So we're good?
Oh, we're so good.
Next episode, Sonny is sad that there's prom going on in her high school that she went to before she moved to LA or whatever. Is this LA? This has to be LA. Hollywood is in the theme song. This has to be LA. Why am I not sure if this was LA or not? Anyway, she's feeling homesick about prom. Nobody else cares about prom, but she forces everybody to have a prom behind Marshall's back. Oh, I don't think I've mentioned Marshall before. He's a great character. I don't know why I haven't, but I also forgot about him. So rewatching the series, I was like, oh wait, right, there was this character. I'm sorry, Marshall. Marshall needs to get his flowers. But Marshall's like, no, you can't have prom. But then prom still happens, and as much as everybody else was like, we don't care, they still have a great time at prom, and Sonny can never go. And as a kid, I remember being so angry and so frustrated about this episode, except for the last part, of course. That was such a good Channy moment again.
Because sometimes, I heard, you get to have that perfect dance with that one special person. Just gonna have to settle for me.
This is sweet.
I have my moments.
You gonna press play?
Oh, right, sorry.
But her just over and over and over and over going to get to prom. And also, we really didn't get to see prom as well. We only experienced little bits of it. Still more than what she experienced. And I was so mad because like Sonny is literally the best. Why can't she have anything? Why do you gotta do her like that? Why does Sonny have to suffer? What has she done wrong that she has to suffer? But as an adult, it was pretty funny. I gotta admit, I did enjoy her hopes and dreams about prom getting crushed. I guess I've become hardened and mean over the years, but I find that episode a lot funnier now, and also that Channy moment. I don't know if this episode measures up all that well with these other ones, but I'm gonna put it in, check it out, yeah, right over here. Actually, I might even move this episode over here. Yes, okay.
Here's a night to remember.
I promised an unforgettable evening, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
I'm a man of my word.
This episode is decent. It's a part of a long line of episodes where Sonny studies it up. She tries to get Marshall and her teacher together, and there's trouble. Then she tries to get them apart, and there's also trouble. It's interesting to have more of a Marshall-centered episode, because I feel like he is a little very much underused on the show. And you can tell that they didn't even have faith that this type of plot will be interesting to kids if they don't sprinkle a little Channy bait in there. I hate it when shows do that, because like you have so much potential for this ship to actually give me cute scenes, memorable, important scenes like the ones in the previous episode, but this time I can tell you're just baiting me and you're just taking the piss at me, and I hate it. As a kid, I was also very much into any side ship, and I still am. Sometimes the side ships distract me from the main ships, and usually the side ships are done maybe better than the main ones because they don't have that big of an incentive to ruin them for drama. So every time a potential side ship gets introduced, I'm all for it. This is a solid episode. It's not like wow, amazing, but I think it's pretty good. Mid-tier, like putting it in the middle tier is still good. It's not like bad, it's just not one of the very best, but it's not also one of the worst. I think this one is like solidly exactly what the mid-tier was made for. I wouldn't say it's one of the best episodes, but it had very funny moments and it's an enjoyable watch. So yeah, I'll put it perfectly in the middle.
Guest star appearance. Selena Gomez guest stars on Sonny with a Chance for one magical event.
Abracadabra.
Chad's casting the movie of his life.
I need lookalikes to play the losers from So Random. No offense.
And look who's playing Sonny.
Oh my gosh! Selena Gomez!
It's a battle of the Disney Channel stars.
Look at me, I'm Selena Gomez. I know everything. And photo you choose it. Check it out. I'm Sonny from Wisconsin. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out.
Moving on to this episode, this is the episode where Selena Gomez guest stars. The whole point of this episode really was to just cross-promote Sonny and Demi friendship brand that Disney had created with the Princess Protection Program and stuff like that. Like at the time, every kid was eating up the Demi and Sonny besties situation, and I was eating it up even more. I was loving it. Such an event for me, and I'm pretty sure Disney marketed it. Didn't they do some sort of a promotion that promoted both this episode and Princess Protection Program? Didn't that happen? Wasn't there a promotion block on Disney? I don't remember exactly what it was, but I think there was. It was just everywhere. Demi and Selena, best of friends.
One point, I have a line where they ask what my best friend is like.
You gonna become BFFs with Selena Gomez?
And I was like, she's nothing like you. But everyone knows that Selena and I are best friends.
I'm Taylor.
So naturally, as a kid, I ate it all up. I was super excited. I loved this. If this episode was on TV, I would be glued to the screen watching it, even if that meant peeing my pants, because I didn't want to go to the loo during commercial break, because I didn't want to miss a single second of the episode. And the embarrassing part about this is that this is literally a real story. This is a true story of my childhood. I'm not even exaggerating just to be funny or anything. This literally happened to me multiple times, where I would pee my pants because I would not want to risk going to the loo that was 2 steps away from the living room, because I was too scared that I was gonna miss 1 second of shows that I have watched a million times before, but I was just so excited about these things. And it's clear that this episode was literally just made to have Selena Gomez and Demi in the same show. She doesn't even have a character, she's literally just Selena Gomez, which I guess makes sense because at later times Chad references her as Selena Gomez, but it's not unheard of to have show reference actors and then those actors portraying different characters on that show. So it kind of stands out that they chose to just have this be Selena Gomez. Like in Hannah Montana as a character, it's not Selena Gomez as Selena Gomez. And basically for this episode, Chad is making a movie, and for some reason he has to cast all of the randoms. Like, I get casting Sonny, but like he has to cast all the randoms. And especially Sonny has a very important part in his film. I wonder why. And there's this drama of like him not allowing the randoms to audition to play their roles, especially Sonny. Sonny really wants to do that, and then he allows her to audition, but the role goes to Selena Gomez. And then he keeps teasing her with that, and then he keeps teasing her, then Selena keeps teasing her that there's something between her and Chad. And that's pretty much the whole episode. An excuse for Selena Gomez and Demi to be in the same show, and also teasing whether or not Sonny and Chad have feelings for each other. So like, of course I loved this episode as a kid. I ate it up, I adored it. Now it feels a little cross promotion-y, fan service-y, a little like, meh. Nothing too special, definitely mid-tier now, but there's still something so iconic about it, you know, like, it was the Selena Gomez episode. I mean, it was more iconic than the Joe Jonas episode, like, I had even forgotten that there was a Joe Jonas episode. But there is, indeed, a Joe Jonas episode, and it's one of the worst, because it's basically a So Random episode. So, I might put this episode here. I mean, nothing spectacular, you know, it's just the casual, I don't like him at all. Okay, maybe a little bit, but I don't know. I can't say I like him at all. No, I hate him. But do I hate him? It's that sort of thing. It's like, Princess Protection Program still slaps, though. That still slaps.
It's a room full of memories.
This is the heart and soul of So Random.
And someone's trying to move in.
Can we discuss this like real people?
What's up? What do you want to discuss?
Sonny with a chance.
Then this sort of a bottle clip show episode. I don't remember how I felt about it as a kid, but as an adult, I hate these. Luckily, most kids shows that I've rewatched as an adult, embarrassingly, don't feature the clip show episodes seriously the way that the adult shows at the times did. This clip show episode is the best one in my opinion. The other one is just Channy Bait. But with all that into consideration, it's still the second to bottom tier.
What is going on in Sonny's apartment?
Freeze!
What are you doing here? What are you doing here?
What are you two doing here?
Do something.
Okay, something weird's going on.
Then we haven't had a Sonny and Tony episode in a while, but this one is the one where Tony likes this guy and Sonny kisses him, but then she still tries to make them date. It's very heavy on the Sonny meddling and making everything worse and worse and worse, even though usually in most episodes she makes everything worse up to a point and then she fixes everything. This time she was just like, yeah, just don't date guys like that, Tony. Just don't. I guess the point of the episode is like, be yourself or something, but at the end there, Sonny is just like, I'm done with this bullshit, honestly. And as a kid, I was like, well, it's not Sonny's fault, it was the kiss cam. But now I'm like, no, it's completely Sonny's fault. Like, how can you be like, I'm so done with Tony's bullshit at the end there when you didn't have to kiss that guy? You were like, oh, but she sat next to him. You could have stayed on the seat that was away from him. Then they wouldn't have gotten you on the kiss cam. You could have talked to him from one seat away. You didn't need to sit next to him. And then when they were like, oh, they were throwing food at us, we had to kiss. You didn't have to kiss. What if that was your brother? What if that was your brother? What if that was a blood relative? You don't have to kiss. You could have taken the food coming your way just for a little bit longer and moved your butt to the next chair over, but you didn't care. You didn't care. You kissed him because you didn't care, Sonny. Something I love about this episode is that Chad cares that she kissed this guy. And he wasn't Tony's boyfriend or anything. He wasn't really into her at all. But that was very weird of Sonny. No, Sonny, you do not get a pass to kiss him because it was the kiss cam. Because you know how much Tony cared about this. Imagine she imagine she kissed Chad. Imagine she kissed Chad like that. How would you feel, Sonny? How would you feel? No. You don't get to be like, oh, I'm so done with Tony's bullshit. This time it's your fault, Sonny. Also, because there is a kiss cam moment in this episode, I feel like I need to mention this. I feel like I need to reference this in some way. It took me so long to make this video that hadn't happened by the time I recorded this initially. Whereas now, when I'm sitting down editing this segment, it has been so long since that this reference feels super outdated. So I'm not gonna make a joke about it. I'm just gonna be like, I'm just gonna put this picture over here and let you make the jokes. You can write the jokes in the comments. I'm just going to point that out that indeed this pop culture moment feels a little funnier now that we sort of have a vaguely similar situation on this show. But again, it took me so long to edit this video that this is starting to feel like an old reference. But then if I don't mention it, I would feel like I need to mention it, you know? Then it will feel kind of odd, kind of a missed opportunity. Should I put this one in Mackenzie's toast? No. Put it here. Yeah. I didn't like it as much as I did when I was a kid. Maybe yeah. Maybe over here. Over here for now. I might move it up later when these two tiers get more crowded, but for now I'm just gonna be here.
He calls himself the greatest actor of our generation.
Time for talk things over.
And now,
I found someone even better to guest star this week.
Which one of you girls is gonna get me a sandwich?
the Chad Dylan Cooper guest stars on So Random
Look at me, I'm all funny.
and makes one incredible prediction.
By the end of the week, you're gonna fall in love with me.
I don't like you.
After we kiss, you'll be hooked.
After we what?
And the audience goes,
Is this the end of their rivalry?
First the nervousness and the stumbling, and next you'll be dreaming about me, and you'll get lost in my eyes.
Oh my gosh, what am I doing?
Getting lost in my eyes. Check.
It's a Disney Channel event. Sonny with a Chad? New episode Sunday at 8, 7 Central on Disney Channel.
This one is a good one. This is the only episode revolving around Sonny and Chad kissing that should have existed. And it also kind of incorporates the sketch show. At this point, they had kind of put the sketch show to the side, but this episode reminds us that there is indeed a sketch show going around, and Chad Dylan Cooper is gonna be a guest star. He's gonna need to be kissing with Sonny, but she's like, ooh, I don't know if I like him or not, and all of that weirdness around it, which they could have pushed for a whole nother season. They didn't have to cut it short. They could have used that for the whole end of season 2. They didn't need to escalate things so quickly, but whatever. She don't want to kiss Chad because she doesn't want to fall in love with him. And there's also the question, is she already into him? And this equal parts makes the So Random show make more and less sense because yes, Chad Dylan Cooper agreed to be a guest star on the show. So it makes sense that he would be a part of So Random after that. It makes sense that he would like have a guest appearance. But it just doesn't make sense that Chad Dylan Cooper would be a main cast member of So Random. It just doesn't make sense. This is a great episode. This is truly a great episode. Might move it up here for now. Over here, yeah. Or should I stay here? Should go all the way over here? Okay. Over here. Over here. Over here. Over here. I'm very picky with the top tier. It has to be super, super, super solid top tier. I think my nostalgia not being that strong for this episode is what's stopping me from putting it in the top tier, but finally putting it in the very top tier. Yeah. Over here though. Yeah. Okay.
On a special Sonny with a Chance, you'll want to know who's the dummy. Hey! Oh! A battle for a throne.
To the Cooper Fooper.
Leaves someone caught in the act.
Somebody use my bathroom.
And a new sketch has Tawny playing dumb.
To cook a dumb blonde frozen dinner, just put it in the microwave. This sketch is horrible and demeaning.
And Sonny's career advice
You are fired. Fired.
sparks a family disaster.
I'm fired? Oh my gosh, your mom's your manager.
What has Sonny gotten into? Who will get flushed out? And who's the real dummy?
How would that even be possible?
Didn't see that coming.
Jeff Dunham guest stars on an all-new Sonny with a Chance, Who's the Dummy? New episode Sunday at 8, 7 Central on Disney Channel.
Let me check when this came out. Let me check. This episode came out on November 1st, 2009. iCarly, Sam's Mom episode came out in September 11, 2010. Oh! Is that an instance where iCarly is actually copying from Sonny with a Chance? Because watching this, I was like, oh, they're totally copying iCarly with this. But iCarly copied that from Sonny with a Chance. How about that, Nickelodeon? How about that? You're not slick, Nickelodeon. Well, I was gonna rip on this episode for being a copy of iCarly, but apparently iCarly copied this one. So I just think it's a little funny how the turntables, you know? Mom and daughter fight. The daughter goes to live with her best friend, but then her daughter and her best friend, or her daughter and her frenemy in Tawny's case, don't get along living together. So the best friend tries to unite the mother and the daughter. And iCarly kind of wish Sam would have said living with Carly, because like it makes Carly look not like a good friend to let her best friend be in such a toxic situation with her mom just because she's annoyed from living with her, you know what I mean? Like, it makes Carly not seem like the best friend. Whereas Sonny and Tawny are actually friends, and her situation with her mom isn't that crazy. But the reason why I'm pointing it out is because I feel like Nickelodeon at that time was constantly like making jabs at Disney for copying them, when there are some episodes that you clearly did copy from Disney shows, the same way that, yeah, they did copy some episodes from you. But sometimes it's annoying how much they're like, haha, you're copying me. It's like, it's a very basic premise, and it's a very basic conclusion. So, of course they're gonna be the same. It's the first thing that comes to mind. It's very basic. Also, shout out to the mom from Jessie. She's apparently just as attentive of a parent in Sonny with a Chance as she is in Jessie. Apart from the Sonny and Tawny dynamic, and also the juxtaposition between Sonny's mom and Tawny's mom, this might be Mackenzie Falls. Is it Mackenzie Falls? I might have to put in Mackenzie Falls. That's so unfortunate. I didn't think it would be that low. As far as season 1 is concerned, both of these episodes are Mackenzie Stalls. Let's see if that stays the same when we have the whole show ranked. What were Nico and Grady doing again? Most of their shenanigans are memorable, but I just don't remember what episode it was for. So let's see. Oh, another thing about this episode that I forgot until I read the synopsis. Okay, so literally last episode. This episode right here, episode 16. In this episode, Tony literally doesn't know what a microwave is. She literally does not know what a microwave is. In this episode, 2 episodes later, Tony is offered to do a sketch that is basically about a dumb blonde who doesn't know how a microwave works. And Sonny is all like, oh, this is so sexist and so terrible to blondes. It's too offensive. No. You can't do this. 2 episodes ago, you were making that joke, Disney. 2 episodes ago, you were making that joke. And now you're like, oh, no. This is against all the rules of feminism. You can't do it, Tony. You can't do this sexist sketch. That was literally in the plot of the episode 2 episodes ago. Good thing I have it open so it can remind me what the episode was about. Disney does it now where they're like, oh, I would never, like they're clutching their pearls over things that they did 10-15 years ago, but this is in one show 2 episodes apart. Okay, what were Nico and Grady doing? Oh, it was the dummy episode. Oh, I like the dummy. The dummy that's obsessed with Chad. Oh, should I put it higher because of the dummy? No, I'm gonna leave it here. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it here because I didn't even remember what Nico and Grady shenanigan happened that time.
Sonny's perfect present turns these
Wow, look at all that joy.
best friends
Just smelly butt out of the chair!
into bitter enemies.
You are dead today!
Can Sonny save their friendship?
Oh, but in the next one, Nico and Grady shenanigan is the A-plot. And that's a solid episode. It's not anything super spectacular, but it's solid. I'm gonna put it in the middle of the middle tier. Nico and Grady fight over a chair, and I'm like, why did Sonny only buy one? If she only had the money to buy one, why not buy them something else? How do you expect them to share one chair? That is literally so rude. Like, hello? Do you really not have enough money for a second chair? Even if this chair is like $2,000, do you really not have the money for a second chair? But it's like, you are on a TV show that might not be as successful as Mackenzie Falls, but it's still pretty successful. And that's another thing that they also go back and forth on. If the show is popular, but just not as popular as Mackenzie Falls, or if it's just a completely flop show. Which, I mean, if it was a completely flop show, realistically, they wouldn't have the money to maintain it. But they gotta be paid well. Even if you exclude rent in LA in the 2010s. They have to be able to afford these things that cost a couple thousand at most. Like, they can't afford things above $20 sometimes. Like, they should be able to spend anywhere around $1,000 to $2,000 at most. But there was this one time where they were like, oh, I have no idea where we're gonna find $1,200. And I'm like, you both have jobs. You're on a semi-successful, maybe sometimes successful, sometimes not that successful show. It really doesn't make sense that they can't spend $1,200, especially because it's the 2 of them. Each one of you can have $600. You do nothing but hang out on set all the time. How much money do these pizzas cost that Grady keeps ordering? You get food for free from the cafeteria. You never go to any other place. The only thing you pay for is the occasional pizza delivery. How much money does that pizza cost, Grady? Do you have a problem? Do you have a problem with ordering too many pizzas, Grady? Why do the randoms have no money? Where does their money go?
For Sonny and Chad, so far it's been stormy,
Good.
with patches of blue sky.
Sweet.
I have my moments.
It's been
You ready for all this?
interesting. But on a revealing talk show,
We don't have secrets, do we?
I don't know. Do we?
everything becomes clear.
You have feelings?
Do you have feelings?
Sonny with a Chance. New episode Sunday at 8/7 Central.
To wrap up season 1, it's another clip show episode. This one is even more lame because it's actual clip show episode, actual clips from the show, nothing different from what we've already seen, except a few Channy bait scenes here and there, but it's like, no. Girls in the stall. I'm gonna flush it down the stall.
Chad's got a new hidden camera show.
You've been celebrity crack practical joke, sucker!
And someone so random is in on it. That could be hidden cameras anywhere.
And here's where I realized I made a bit of a mistake because I thought I was done with season 1, and I also messed up one of the screenshots. I thought this one was the Selena episode, but this one is the Selena episode. I mean, it's very clear that this one is the Selena episode because Selena is in it. So I'm just going to put this one over here instead of that one. Because it's the iconic Selena episode, maybe I should move it up. Or maybe at the very beginning of the tier, because it doesn't hold the same wow factor, but at the same time it is pretty iconic. And this screenshot is from the Punked episode that I mistook for this one. Chad is basically Ashton Kutcher, like he thinks he is hosting this TV show, so he's kind of acting like Ashton Kutcher, but turns out Zora's the one hosting it, and she pranks him, and she dumps a whole bunch of feces in his car. And they never referenced that that is exactly why it happened, but it's my headcanon that because the next episode is the one where they try to take their prop house, it's my headcanon that Chad got mad because of the feces in his car, that he tried to talk with Mr. Condor and get their prop room because of it, even though they never specified on the show that that's why. I'm going to say that that is why. But where do I put this episode? I remember it fondly as a kid, but overall I might just leave it in the Sticky Vicky tier. I might put it over here. Yeah, it belongs right next to the episode with the gossip columnist lady. You might put it here. Over here, yeah, okay.
It's Sonny versus Chad in a cookie sell-off.
Awesome Scout cookies, yo peeps, come get your blueberry. Bo peeps.
Marshmallow jingles, your coconut canoodles.
You buy from us, I'll give you my autograph.
Well, anybody who buys from us will get my autograph. Really?
Who will crumble first?
I'm a better blossom than you'll ever be.
I wouldn't brag about that.
Somebody better hold me back.
Don't make me take off my shoe.
Sonny with a chance. New episode Sunday at 8, 7 Central.
And also I've missed one episode of the series that for some reason I thought was in season 2, which was Dakota's second appearance. She's just literally sitting in the cafeteria and she's being very obvious about her crush on Chad. Two things that she allegedly didn't want to do in the beginning because she didn't want to expose herself as the step of a crazy girl in front of her dad. But apparently that's out of the way. Apparently her dad just allows her to be on the sets. And she finds out that Zora is very into being a Girl Scout, which it makes sense based on what happened in season 2. That was another Zora-centered episode. So if it wasn't for that episode tying it in, I would have been like, that doesn't make sense for Zora's character at all. But no, it pays off later. Zora's very into becoming the top scout. Am I mistaken in thinking that this was somehow promoting Den Brother, the Girl Scout movie that also has Lil G Cornelius? I think I'm not that mistaken because Disney likes to do that stuff. So I'm pretty sure this season came out in 2009 and that movie came out in 2010. But still, Lil Dakota just wants to piss off Zora so she becomes a Girl Scout too. Sonny has trauma from being a Girl Scout. She gets this close to being promoted and she doesn't get promoted. We also get to see little Juanita playing little Sonny. Only the most eagle-eyed viewers or those who read Wikipedia will know that Juanita was also in Camp Rock 2. She was one of Kevin Jonas's little music campers, kitties. It was nice to see little Juanita. I mean, her name is Madison, but like, you know little Juanita. This is a good episode, and see, I might need another tier because I don't know if it's check it out worthy. A Dakota episode needs to be in the top tiers, so I'm gonna put it in check it out. It's unfortunate that I kind of forgot to rank initially the 2 episodes that were more Zora heavy. So I'm kind of mad I missed these 2 because I haven't really talked about Zora basically at all this whole video. And also while rewatching the show, I didn't realize how many episodes she is missing. And obviously she was the only cast member that was not 18 for most of this, so it'll be easier for them to just not include her in most episodes. And I think that adds to the appeal of her character. Like, it leaves you wanting more. It doesn't leave you wishing they hadn't used her in half of the episodes they did. But I am actually surprised just how little episodes feature Zora, and then just how little episodes have her at the center of a story. Because as a kid, her character sticks out a lot. She wasn't my favorite character or anything because I wasn't really into that type of spooky character. But even then, she was one of the most like super memorable characters. I had vividly remembered literally all of her scenes. It kind of sucks that I forgot to talk about exactly these two episodes, but I mean, I did talk about them at the end there. I did talk about them in this video, but I didn't talk about them as they were in order. Which, I mean, I'm not gonna do season 2 in order, so I guess doesn't matter that much, but like, I don't know. It's kind of a bummer.
We'll be right back with Sonny with a Chance, starring Demi Lovato.
Time for an in-between season intermission. And for this one we have a conspiracy theory. Tony Hart's favorite lipstick, and only one she allegedly chooses to wear, is famously Coco Moco Coco. The episode where Marshall is replaced by Nico and Grady. They order Moco Coco Moco, and that will not be accepted by our diva. But is Tony Hart a fraud? Has she been using Coco Moco Coco this whole time? Because the prop for Coco Moco Coco, as the name would suggest, is brown lipstick. But Tony Hart never wears brown lipstick because that would be atrocious with her skin tone and hair color. The one time that we actually do see her put on the Coco Moco Coco prop on her lips get colored brown from it, proving that the lipstick that she had on before was not Coco Moco Coco, but indeed was one with a faint pink tint. Is Tony Hart a fraud? Is the show trying to gaslight us? Is it just that Coco Moco Coco is a really funny name to say, but brown lipstick wouldn't be her color, so they're not using it on her? What might be the reason behind this fib? We can only speculate, but I have two theories for you. Theory number one, I like to call the father theory. Why do we never see Tony Hart's father on the show? He's never even mentioned. Could it be that he divorced her mom, passed away? Or is it simply completely irrelevant to the plot? Well, perhaps the reason why he is not mentioned is because her father is the manufacturer of Coco Moco Coco. Dun dun dun. It is factually true based on the lore of the show that the Coco Moco Coco lipstick has been discontinued, yet Tony Hart has a whole stash of it and always has supply of it. Could it be that her dad is producing this lipstick and is using his daughter as a desperate attempt to try to revive his lipstick brand? The same way that her mother is using her to be her momager? Is that a possibility? As much as I like this theory, there isn't much textual proof of it. But fear not, I have theory number 2 for you. I like to call this one the sponsor theory. This theory is similar to the father theory, but the explanation for Tony Hart's stash is not that the lipsticks come from her father, but that they come from a sponsor who is trying to promote their dying lipstick brand by signing a lifelong deal to promote their lipstick, and specifically the shade Coco Moco Coco, and not Moco Coco Moco, because there's a huge difference. Think about it. Tony Hart has the most luxurious dressing room. Zora Lancaster doesn't even have a dressing room. She's chilling in the vents. How is Tony able to afford all this? We can only assume that this sponsor is what's making her lavish lifestyle possible. There's one problem though. Coco Moco Coco is just not Tony Hart's shade. And if she wears it all the time, she will look ridiculous. So she is lying to the public that she is using Coco Moco Coco exclusively and all the time to keep her sponsors happy and to keep herself swimming with dough. How many have been tricked by this? And she would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for Nico and Grady taking over Marshall's job that one time. Whatever the truth lying underneath may be, we may never know, because alas, this is just a theory. A TV show theory.
We're back with the Disney Channel original comedy, Sonny with a Chance. 'Tis the season to be Sonny.
I'm Santa's beard. It's the So Random Holiday Special.
Happy holiday!
Happy Hanukkah!
Merry Christmas, everybody!
Unwrapping Sunday, November 28th on Disney Channel.
So first I'm gonna do the 2 So Random episodes. I actually have never watched the Halloween episode before. I don't know why. Maybe I assumed it was the So Random show and I didn't want to watch that. But the one with Joe Jonas, I did watch. I mean, how can you not watch an episode of Sonny with a Chance with Joe Jonas? It's Joe Jonas!
But there's no getting on till I'm ready. Too soon. Slow down. Take it easy on me, girl. I need your love, baby. I can't wait till
Oh my god! It's that tingling again!
until then I have to diss you. Cause my mom doesn't like it when
I love you!
naughty.
So the Halloween episode, not that it was completely unfunny. There were some sketches that were funny, but I just don't care, okay? I don't care. This is too random. I gotta say, it's just too random to me. Show types like these are just too random. I need something to be invested in. I need something bigger, something overarching to be looking forward to. I don't want to just watch random comedic stuff. I want to care for the characters, okay? So the Halloween episode goes over here. And when I saw on the listing on Disney Plus that they're gonna have 2 So Random episodes in the same season, basically 2 filler episodes. I mean, better than 2 clip show episodes. A lot better than 2 clip show episodes. But in the middle of the Channy conflict, you have 2 filler episodes that are basically a soft pilot for a different show that I don't even think they intended for them to be soft pilots. Maybe that's why I don't like the Halloween episode, because that one feels like a backdoor pilot to So Random. And the Christmas one just feels like a way for them to incorporate Joe Jonas to promote Camp Rock 2. I don't know the production order of these things, but the Halloween episode, everybody looks a little bit older to me. And when Demi's performing that song, I don't know if she's just performing like that because it's Halloween, or if she is actually indeed on copious amounts of drugs. If it was somebody else, I would be like, she's just performing like that because it's Halloween and he wants to get in the spooky spirit. But because it's Demi Lovato performing like that, I'm like, was she conscious during that performance? Was she 5 seconds away from barfing or shooting copious amounts of drugs into her system? In the Joe Jonas episode, because it's Joe Jonas, I want to put it a little bit higher. Maybe above this clip show episode. Not above the first clip show episode, but above the second one.
The winner of the Be So Random Birthday Contest is Grace Gallagher.
She's the guest they never expected. Don't let her sweet looks fool ya.
I just robbed the bank.
Grace just told me that she robbed the bank. Isn't that hilarious? Oh my gosh, you guys really did rob the bank?
Correction, we all robbed the bank. Now drive, Roots!
Are my roots showing?
Sonny's new in May, Sunday at 8, 7 Central.
Step on it, we gotta lose the popo.
Another episode that I just don't like, and I didn't watch as much as a kid. I watched it once, and I specifically have a memory only of the scene where Tawny and Sonny are in the car. This very weird, I mean, not weird in terms of what happens. I guess it's a little weird in terms of what happens, but like, it's mostly weird because like, what was the reason behind this? Another filler episode in the middle of the whole Channy situation. So I'm not in the mood for that. I want to get straight to the point with Channy, okay? It just feels weird that they would make an episode about bigotry against old people, but then the episode is literally old people joke after an old people joke, which they've also made fun of old people in a different sketch before. But it's like making fun of old people, making fun of old people, and then, wow, you're such a bad person for making fun of old people. But it's just like, why? Like, this old lady wins a So Random competition thingy to be in one of the episodes, and then they make this sketch about old people. You can imagine it. I don't even have to explain to you, just old people. What can you make fun of old people? That was the sketch, and it was pretty similar to some other sketches that they've done. But no, the old lady got offended. She got super offended, and everybody in the world got offended. All of the grannies and all of their grandchildren, everybody got offended, so they went to apologize. And everybody at this old people home is basically older versions of the So Random cast, and also this one guy that had looked exactly like Chad but like 50-60 years ago. And the one granny and the other granny have the same dynamic as Sonny and Tawny. And they prank them that they've robbed a bank in order to show them that old people shouldn't be made fun of. And it's like, it's just so weird because the whole episode is just old people are old and it's funny. But also you are a piece of shit if you make fun of old people. Old people are great. Don't make fun of old people. But also Chad is entertaining needy kids or sick kids or just kids that are in a bad situation. I don't remember exactly what. And all of them are afraid of clowns for some reason. And so naturally, by the end of the episode, he happens to look exactly like a clown, which, yes, him overdoing the curlers. I can imagine that in the Disney realm of sitcoms, that would result him in getting bald and his hair turning all red. I can accept that, but why is he wearing clothes that look like clown clothes? Why? But one good thing about that episode is, and I'm grasping at straws here to redeem Chad's character, and that is that when he sees his hair being almost completely gone and being completely ugly, as much as he was afraid of going bald up until that point of the episode, when he sees that, his first instinct is to be like, oh kids, don't be afraid, I'm not a real clown. Those are his first words. He is not immediately like, oh, I'm bald, I'm ugly. He's immediately like, okay, don't be afraid, not a real clown. You know, gotta point it out because later in the series, it's gonna get a little bit hard to defend Chad, and I'm still gonna do it, okay? Child me was all blaming Chad about how the Channy situation panned out, but adult me is here to defend Chad. And I gotta point out all the redeeming qualities, however little they might be. And yeah, I like the old lady actress. Overall, the episodes are just kind of like random, I guess you can say. It's a random episode. It's not as bad as the Halloween, though.
Sonny's good luck charm
I gotta chew, chew, chew to get the ha-ha-ha.
is Tawny's curse.
Who left this gum on my stage?
Will this new rule
Gum is banned from the entire studio.
make Sonny lose her funny?
I've never performed without chewing gum first.
You need some lame ritual to get laughs.
I'm sticky, sticky. I mean, sticky, sticky.
Go to commercial! Watch a sticky Sonny with a chance. New episode Sunday at 8/7 Central.
Another episode that was super weird to me, of which there are many, was this episode where Sonny is chewing gum as her lucky charm. Everybody of the cast has some sort of a lucky charm ritual before the show, and then Sonny has this chewing gum thing, but Tawny almost dies slipping on the gum somehow. And so gum is banned. Sonny is stressed. She bombs one of her sketches. And then she realizes that she doesn't need gum to be funny. She got gum because she was funny. She wasn't funny because of the gum. It just, why? Why have so many filler episodes this season? It's way too early to be out of ideas. It's way too early to be out of ideas. And I think if I search for it hard enough, maybe this episode could have been some sort of a copy of iCarly, but I don't think it is from just memory alone. But like, why? Why? Even Tawny and Sonny's dynamic doesn't even hit the same. Because it's not about them two, it's about Sonny's ritual before the show. Am I gonna put it below the Halloween episode? I might even put it below the Halloween episode because, like, what was the point? Like, how am I supposed to care that Sonny can't chew gum? How am I supposed to be like, oh, the stakes are super high here because if Sonny can't chew gum, she can never be funny. If she can never be funny, she can't be on the show. How are the stakes supposed to be high when she has literally never chewed gum on the show before, you know? It's supposed to be funny just because it's random, but I hate this, and I feel like the targeted age demographic for season 2 drastically drops because, what? Like, this is a good time as any to address this, even though it's not the first instance of this happening in an episode of season 2 that we talked about thus far. It happened in the previous episode, like with the clown thing, but this season is really heavy on the Chad torture and on the just complete demasculization of Chad. Like, at this point, season 2 Chad can't really call himself Chad, because he's not like the blonde stoic guy, he's like the screaming triggered dude. That's how he is the whole season. They really really fast flanderize him and basically turn him into this lame loser. But just like season 2, Chad Dylan Cooper, and season 1, Chad Dylan Cooper are completely different people. Like, he is so whiny. He gets tortured all the time. What happens to him is exactly what happens to Squidward. He is supposed to be this super charismatic asshole that is manipulative and is always one-upping you. Like, even in the moments in season 1 where he would get embarrassed, like in the pranked episode, or in that episode where he screamed in the car from the monster, even in those episodes he will like very quickly gain composure and will pretend to still be cool, still will like pretend to come on top of it. But in season 2, just episode after an episode after an episode, he's becoming more and more and more of a lame loser. But it's just too much. It's too annoying. And I guess younger children would have found that funny, but I didn't even find that funny when I first watched it and I was like 9 years old. I wasn't annoyed by them either, but I just didn't find them funny at all. I feel like they'll only be funny for toddlers. In episodes like Pranked, where Chad would get his comeuppance, and he would get momentarily embarrassed and then gain composure and like pretend to be cool. Those were satisfying because you see him being such a big pompous asshole, even though you like him because you all like Chad. You're like, yeah, that's funny. I can laugh at your expense, but like in season 2, it's nothing but that. It's just he just appears and something terrible happens to him and he screams like a girl and it's terrible. It's terrible. And they did this up with Chad. No. They did the same with Tawny, kind of. They made her lame and completely unimportant, just buried her deep in Sonny's shadow. But overall, they just had such a good show and they ruined it so quickly. Like, if season 2 had been Sonny and Chad not dating at all, it just keeping up the same fine, good dynamic that they had from season 1, like the whole season 2 as well, I don't think it would have gotten old.
I can make the rain stop if I wanna, just by my attitude.
For the first time ever,
I kinda dabble in songwriting myself.
Sonny sings.
Me, myself, and time. Let's hear it.
Demi Lovato is Sonny with a song.
And music, it isn't a hobby, it's a passion, Sonny. And
if you don't sing it, honey, I will.
See Sonny in a whole new spotlight as she performs her new song, Me, Myself, and Time.
Wow. Yeah. Who knew?
She's great, right?
Another episode that is a total ripoff of an iCarly episode. So clear of a ripoff. It's when this British musician guy comes in, everybody is obsessed with him, and Sonny pretends she's not like other girls, but she actually is indeed like other girls, and she's obsessed with him. She wants to show him her song. Did they mention that she now, all of a sudden, and for the rest of this show, out of nowhere, is gonna be exactly like Michi Torres, and she's gonna write a whole bunch of songs, and that's gonna be super important for her out of nowhere, making music. Did we mention that? Comes out of nowhere to have little kids be like, hey, this is just like Camp Rock, isn't it? It's just like Camp Rock. Look, it's Demi Lovato like Camp Rock. It's Michi Torres. Go watch the show. Just like that iCarly episode, this guy turns out to be a complete asshole, plagiarizes every single thing that he sees. He doesn't just plagiarize a song. He plagiarizes every single thing that he lays his eyes on. And that's exactly like that one episode, which is indeed very random for iCarly, where they make fun of and parody and rip on this David what's-his-face guy for winning American Idol instead of David Archuleta. And they even have David Archuleta guest star on the show. And they portray that other David guy that won in real life but didn't win in the iCarly episode universe. They portray him like a total asshole who's also British and calls them hobknockers. And this guy is pretty much that David what's-his-face guy. And it was so funny as a concept for an iCarly episode because like, why? But then to copy that Disney, come on. Because I really love the song, I'm not going to put it last. I'm going to put it above the Halloween episode. But like, come on, such a blatant iCarly ripoff. It's like they got so obvious with it in season 2. In season 1, you can't really tell. And also there's that one episode that actually they did before iCarly. And season 1 is like, yeah, it's just generic kids show stuff. It doesn't mean they're copying iCarly. But in season 2, they're like, no, let me make it clear we are copying iCarly, okay? Let me make it clear.
How could this be? The randoms fired from So Random? Sent to public school.
time to go to class.
Class? That's not even the weird part.
I've never ever been to public school.
Oh no, what is she doing?
I never thought that it would be this cruel.
Apparently the only high school these guys know is the musical one. All right, Martha, give me a boost.
A Sonny with a Chance event. High School Miserable. New episode next Sunday at 8/7 Central on Disney Channel.
They had this episode that as a kid I liked a lot, but I never remember how they resolved it. And it turns out that the way that they resolved it was just the lamest way possible. It was like, oh no, this happened. The kids think that they complained to Mr. Condor, which is pretty similar to what Chad ends up doing in the same season a little bit later. But they want to complain because they're getting spoiled with all the nice amenities they're getting from the show, which again is so random. Popular show, is it not? Do these kids have money? Do they not? We don't know. It varies on the situation, but in this episode they're spoiled rotten and they're getting really bad. They're giving Marshall grief and they want to have at it with Mr. Condor, and he fires them for it, so they have to go to normal high school. But turns out that was just not even a dream, not even a hallucination, just like a fantasy. It doesn't even make sense because they never wrote that letter. They were still in the room. The way Sonny was going to write that letter, she never actually even started. Somehow it was all just like a collective hallucination. It don't make sense at all. It don't make sense at all. As a kid, I might have blocked that out, or maybe I didn't make it to the end of the episodes, which is unlikely because again, I would risk peeing myself to not miss a single second of that show. But I had absolutely no recollection of how they resolved it, and that's a shame because that would have been such a good episode if they had resolved it in a different way. But they kind of backed themselves into a corner where they're like, okay, but what is Mr. Condor's reason to get them back? What? And they were like, okay, let's not think about it. Let's just pretend that they had like a hallucination or a dream or whatever, even though they were just standing there and they just collectively maladaptive daydreamt. Like, that's what happened. That's the best way you can explain it. All of them had a collective maladaptive daydream about them being fired and going to high school. Had they made it like it was all a dream of Sonny, okay, fine. The way they made it out to be, it was just so lame, and it would have been such a good episode. If they had to learn a lesson, if they had to get out of high school, it was fun, but it got ruined. So I'm not gonna put it in the very last tier because a lot of it was fun, and I like a lot of the concept, but it was just got totally ruined. So it goes over here. Am I gonna put it below the clip show? Yeah, putting it below the clip show episode.
Gassy returns.
Who can toot on command?
Nobody makes it like you, Gassy.
To team up with the randoms.
In a major motion picture.
I can't believe even your audience finds that funny.
But when the star runs out of gas.
Folks, we're experiencing gastrointestinal difficulties.
Sonny cuts in.
I'm gonna fix Gassy. That doesn't sound like Gassy.
Sonny, your fart sinking for Gassy?
Sonny with a Chance. New episode Sunday at 8/7 Central on Disney Channel.
Another episode that was just too random for me, and I kind of liked as a kid, but I don't remember as much. But I think I just liked it because it was about a doggy, and that was the Lassie episode. Well, not Lassie, Gassy. They do a sketch parody called Gassy, and Gassy, he's never gotten love in his life, and Sonny gives him a little bit of love, and everybody's like, that's terrible, don't do it. And then Gassy dies, but Gassy is actually not dead. The way they explained is that he ate too many treats for the first time in his life. This was just, again, too random. What's the point of having so many filler episodes when you can make the episode about Sonny and Chad? Knowing exactly how it's gonna go for Channy, watching all of these filler episodes that would have been boring anyway, but just knowing that there's so many episodes where they could have resolved their relationship just going to waste. Oh, that hurt. That hurt. I'm sorry, Gassy. You're going at the bottom of the list. Which one was the Gassy? This one over here, okay. No, it can't be below the gum episode. Yeah, that's fine. That makes sense.
So Randall and Mackenzie Falls.
We could learn how to bond and trust. Oh, we could go camping.
No! Putting aside their differences.
I win!
For a wilderness adventure.
That was your stream?
Wait, those are your arms?
Well played, well played.
That brings a campfire legend to life.
Only Chad Dylan Cooper, the greatest actor of our generation, was here to save us.
He is. And he will.
And I've messed up a screenshot again, but It's not biggie because I was gonna talk about that episode next anyway. But yeah, that's the high school miserable episode over here. This one is another just super random episode that as a kid I liked because it was Mackenzie Falls and so random going on a bonding camping trip. And I think if it was on season 1, the premise of it would have been a lot better, but it was, again, more and more and more filler, and Chad screams like a girl. Chad runs like a girl. Let's completely destroy Chad's character. Let's completely make Chad a lame loser instead of a charismatic asshole. It's very clear that he's supposed to be sort of a parody on Chad Michael Murray, so whenever they stray away from that and make him just crazy and lame for the sake of easy laughs, it's terrible. And like the worst thing is that every single thing that makes the show worse was intentionally implemented. Like the way there's so many like millions of filler episodes for the sake of easy laughs when the comedy's not even funny. All of it was intentional and ended up terribly. I don't think it's rocket science to keep the character you created as a parody of Chad Michael Murray as a parody of Chad Michael Murray. You know what I mean? I don't think it's that hard of a concept to keep him the way you intended him to be. Not without any character development, but please without any character regression. The charismatic asshole character worked so well. Why'd you gotta make him a lame loser? Should it be nice to put in Mackenzie Stoltz because I kind of liked it as a kid, but now I can't see why I liked it as a kid. I'm gonna put it in here, but I'm gonna put it at the first of here, so the ranking goes from here to here, so technically this one is the best on this tier, and this one is the worst.
She clearly needs my help. No!
Sonny's gotta go. Sonny things up.
Every time you sprinkle your rainbows and cheddar dust, it ends poorly. We all call it sunnying things up.
Sonny it up. Sonny it up. Oh, you sunnied it up again, did you? Sonny it up. Sonny it up. Oh, why'd you have to go and sunny it up?
Really? Sunny it up?
Yeah, that's the word you use when meddling just won't do.
It's Sonny with a 100% chance of meddling.
Next episode I actually like, but I still think they could have done it so much better. I think the concept for the episode was gold. And then the way they resolve it is a little weird. They make Zora's character make more sense, and I like what they did with her character, which is odd because everybody else's character kind of devolved. So I like that they kind of improved actually upon Zora's character with this episode. I love the idea of her having a crush and then taking Tawny's makeup and then actually her secretly being like this super girly girl. I love that for her. For season 2, this is probably the best season 2 we'll get. But I feel like that's the point of the episode, but I feel like Sonny was kind of super annoying here. Like, girl, I get that that's the point of the episode. What I don't like might be a little nitpicky, but like, they fired the little kid because he had a crush on Sonny, and like, he's not being an asshole. He wasn't Zora's boyfriend. He is allowed not to like her, even though it was sad. He's allowed not to like her, and he's allowed to have a crush on Sonny, even though he was doing a little too much. Like, he's still a kid, so why fire him for it? Like, why would Chad fire him for flirting with his then girlfriend Sonny? Why is Chad so insecure that he is threatened by this little kid and has to fire him? Well, because Chad is a lame loser now. He overnight became a lame loser. He is no longer a charismatic asshole. He's just a lame loser, so he has to fire this kid for flirting with his lady. And also the randoms are all complaining that Sonny meddles too much when literally the previous episode or second to previous episode, they couldn't function without Sonny. Basically, they couldn't wipe their own without Sonny being there, but then they're like, oh, she meddles too much. It's like, you cannot live a normal life without Sonny meddling in your lives. But now you're gonna complain that she meddles too much. If she didn't meddle, who would be controlling you guys' lives? But also Sonny was a bit annoying this episode, but still a little bit better than that episode where she tried to get Tawny with that one guy. And I guess this episode is kind of like that. For season 2 standards, this is the best it gets. I like it, and I might even go to check it out. Yeah, just go and check it out. I really wish Zora would have been in more episodes. She was basically absent from half the show because she was the only cast member that wasn't 18. Maybe Demi wasn't either. It would have been nice if they could arrange the schedule better so they could have her in more episodes. Also, something crazy is that Zora is basically the same age as the girl in Starstruck. She might be like 1 year younger or something. Let's check. Yeah, Zora's actress is like less than a year younger than the girl from Starstruck. But in the future, when you watch Starstruck, because it's a great movie, why wouldn't you watch it as an adult? Just think about Chad Dillon Cooper romancing a girl that's basically Zoya's age. Just think about that. Also, I noticed I called Zora Zoya sometimes, and it's not on purpose, it's just easier to pronounce. Just pretend you don't hear it. Pretend you don't hear it.
It's one very special day.
Happy 7-week anniversary.
Oh, just be happy for me.
But when Sonny fills in for her childhood hero,
I feel like I'm being crowned the queen of the North Pole. North Pole kind of smells like a high school gym.
she's left in the cold.
I'm missing my anniversary. When are you coming back?
Never. Can Sonny make her date?
You might want to sit down because you've been stood up.
Don't be late for Sonny with a chance.
In this episode, again, why? Is the Hugsy episode.
Yeah, I keep calling it Hugsy, like Hugsy from Friends, without realizing it's actually Polly. The polar bear mascot here is called Polly, but in my defense, I'm pretty sure Hugsy is also like a penguin, like a polar bear kind of, polar animal type of thing, It's like in the same realm of animal, in the same environment, same climate, if you will. So I don't know why I'm calling this thing a Hugsy all the time. Hugsy is clearly way more iconic.
Beyonce, sweetie, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that an ugly ass bitch like this would even say that.
But it's Polly. So every time I say Hugsy from now on, put an asterisk on it and think of Polly, okay?
Just why? I don't even... Sunny is a really huge fan of this polar bear, and she kind of thinks it's a real character, but then she rips on Chad for going to Hugsy for advice, even though you literally just believed that this thing is a real character and you're 17 years old. But you're ripping on him for being 17 and into the bear. Okay. But I mean, it's his new thing to be a lame loser now, so I guess rip on him. She really likes this guy. She begs him to be inside the Hugsy costume for a day, but then the guy's like, I don't want to work anymore. But then after one pep talk, he's like, yeah, I want to work now. So it all gets resolved in the end, and it makes no sense. Bottom tier, maybe the most boring episode of the show, so should I put it in bottom? Yeah, I'm gonna put it at the very, very bottom, even though it wasn't the one that made me the most mad watching it because of how bad it was. It didn't make me mad about how bad it was at all. I was just bored.
The Check It Out Girls
Check out his ointment.
make an international comedy exchange
They got Tony. We got this funny guy right here.
Meet you, please, nice.
that might split them up for good.
How would you like to be my check it out guy?
I was born to be check it out, guys. Check it out, check it out.
You're not the only one with a new check it out partner.
Well, mine's got a mustache.
Well, mine's got a beard.
A comeback for the Check It Out Girls sketch, which I like it because of that. Sonny and Tony are having some sort of a spat that is not clarified what for. And then here comes the random part. Maybe a little bit of a ripoff on iCarly. Maybe a little bit. It's also kind of a ripoff on Borat as well, but let's be real, it's mostly a ripoff on iCarly. This guy from a generic Slavic made-up country is on a comedy exchange program with Sonny and Tony, but because they're mad, Tony kicks Sonny out of their limo, and she's the only one that goes. But they're living in a crazy Borat type of land. So Tony hates it, and this guy Dinka, that has come to be the exchange comedian in quotation marks, is making Sonny miserable because he's not funny, because plot twist, he's actually a real cashier. He's not a comedian, he's a real cashier, and they thought the Check It Out Girls were real cashier ladies. And also Chad Dillon Cooper is really famous in that country. And also they kind of speak English, they just write some letters backwards. And they also have an accent, like a very heavy Eastern European accent. As much as I didn't mind this episode as a whole, as a kid, I still cringed so hard. On the Sonny and Dinka cafeteria scene where they do that cringe song, like I cringed so hard. But because this was all about Sonny and Tony's dynamic, as much as it might not have sounded like that thus far, I do like this episode actually. I do like it a lot. It might be my favorite episode of the season that doesn't have to do with Channy. And a lot of the Channy episodes that I thought I would like, they're still mostly not that good. I will for sure put in the Check It Out tier. And again, I did think that they did the Check It Out thing a lot more often than they did, but it was still fine. I might even put it above the Sue Heck episode. Should I put it above the Sue Heck episode? Might put it above the Sue Heck episode for now.
Ding-a-ling, ding-a-ling.
On an all-new Sonny, it's the most important birthday of the year.
Wow, me, it was a really great present.
What do you get for the girl who has everything and hates everyone?
But one big birthday blunder
Tell me it's not bad. We ran over Dakota's new bike.
could mean Sonny and Tawny's last so random.
My daddy, your boss.
Freeze!
Or we get fired.
You're invited to Sonny with a Chance. New episode Sunday, November 14th at 9, 8 central, part of Night of Premieres.
I hope you can come.
Moving on to another random episode that, as a kid, I thought this was my most favorite episode of Sunny with a Chance, and that was the Dakota's birthday episode. And yes, the whole reason why I liked it was because of the Chad, Chatty Chat song. That was a cultural reset. Most of the episode is about Sunny and Tawny, and it's not even about their usual dynamic. It's about them breaking Dakota's bike. Her dad bought for her, but he hadn't given to her. So the guy, after repairing the bike, didn't give it back to Sunny and Tawny to give to Dakota. He gave back to Mr. Condor. He gave back to his daughter, and then he found out that she had already took the present before her birthday and she was grounded. And I actually feel bad for her, not because she got grounded, but because her bike got run over. I feel bad for her because, first of all, her mom's not there, so she's either dead or doesn't give two shits about her. And she also had no friends there, and like, yeah, she's super mean to all of the staff members of all of her dad's shows, and even uncharacteristically doesn't care for Chad this episode. But also, like, she has no friends. She has literally nobody there that actually likes her. No friends at all. No mom. Dad's mostly busy at work, so he just throws money at her, so I felt bad for her. If this was an actually good season of an actually good show, I think they would have done better with her character, but it still got the Chad song, and I'm gonna put it in the top tier just for that. So maybe mid-tier? Is that okay? No, can't be the bottom of the mid-tier, but then I don't want to put it in the middle of the middle tier. That's where it belongs.
It's the loudest Sonny ever.
Bam!
Look out for big surprises.
No way, a race carpet!
When Big Brother
What up,
makes a big change.
I'm the new Mackenzie!
You're the new Mackenzie?
Bam!
And find out what's got everyone using their outside voices.
I'm gonna go get some spray tan and guacamole.
Sonny with a Chance.
This one is another where Sunny and Chad are actually together, but they're not together in the same room because Sunny goes off somewhere, aka Demi Lovato has to film Camp Rock. This one, for a change, is not an iCarly copy, but it's pretty much a copy from an episode of this very season, except it actually happened. Grady's annoying brother, who is back for some reason, and I now kind of ship with Tawny. He becomes the new Mackenzie because Chad is too greedy and spoiled, and he keeps making demands, even though he's already getting so much special treatment, and Mr. Condor offers him even more special treatment. He's like, no, I want more and more. A good thing about this episode is that they also reference his one-sided beef with Zac Efron, because he wants even more amenities than Zac Efron. He gets fired for being too greedy. Sunny can't do anything about it because she's on some sort of a camp, and Nico is out this episode, and Tawny is orange for some reason. So I'm gonna put it higher than the episode where the randoms get greedy and get fired, because this one actually happened, but of course he gets reinstated back at his job because Grady's brother is even more of a lame loser than the new Chad Dylan Cooper of season 2 is. So I might put it higher because it actually happened, but not much higher. Should I put it above the Jonas episode? I mean, it goes right before Joe. Is it very unfair to have that episode be over here because of Joe Jonas alone? Yes, it is, but I'm gonna keep it there.
Meet Grady Mitchell from Disney Channel's Sonny with a Chance. He's loud and proud.
I think I pulled something.
And he'll do anything for a laugh.
I'm half dolphin.
On a show where the job is to be
funny,
he's game for anything.
Remember, we're only taking Tawny's trash. Anything here look like trash? Dude, I'm a boy. This is all trash to me.
Catch Grady in Disney Channel's newest original comedy, Sonny with a Chance. Premieres Sunday, February 8th at 8, 7 central on Disney Channel.
It made a little bit more sense to talk about this one before the previous one, but this one introduces Grady's brother. It's also kind of I guess you can say, a ripoff on iCarly, because iCarly did the Twilight spoof, then this episode did the Twilight spoof, but I mean everybody did Twilight spoofs, so I'm not going to count this as an iCarly copy, but they do some sort of a Twilight spoof with a guy that I don't even remember, but Sonny kind of has a thing for him and goes on one date with him, barely. And Grady's lying to his brother, who is always bullying him and who is a total frat bro, that he is dating Sonny because Sonny said so, because she felt bad about Grady constantly being put down. When it comes to the Grady parts of this episode, I would say it's pretty good, it's pretty solid. I would say it does feel more like season 1 episode than the season 2 episode, so that's good, but everything else is just like, What was Tawny doing? I know she was doing something. Oh, that was the episode where they pulled a prank on Chad. That was funny, I like that one. Okay, so the only thing I didn't care about was Sonny dating that Twilight guy then, because the Tawny and Nico plot was pretty good. So it's gonna go in the check it out tier then. Maybe at the very bottom of it, but still in the check it out tier. So what was going on with Sonny outside of Grady was kind of boring, but then the B plot was pretty funny. It's a good episode overall.
We all know what the randoms think of Chad and Sonny.
How sick does this make you?
But when Sonny gets sick,
I'm pretty sure I can handle a day of babysitting your little fun hut buddies.
Really?
Really?
Good.
Good.
Fine.
Fine.
Going home.
Feel better.
Thanks.
what happens when Chad fills in?
Worst day ever.
It's Chad without a chance on Sonny with a Chance. New episode Sunday, September 19th at 9/8 Central.
Another episode where Demi was too busy filming Camp Rock. Everybody cannot function without Sonny. I briefly mentioned this episode before. The randoms have been so flanderized, they cannot function without Sonny. Sonny is no longer just this happy-go-lucky, bubbly girl that has the best of intentions but sometimes oversteps. No. She is literally a saint. And everybody else is so moronic that it's a surprise that they're even alive. One good thing about this episode, and I mean it's not the only good thing about this episode, it does have its funny moments, but one good thing that I'm thinking about right now to mention to boost up Chad's credentials is that whilst everybody else was thinking of ways to exploit more of Sonny's time, he was thinking about making it better for her. So that's a good boyfriend right there, and exclusively right there, nowhere else, but still, that's a good boyfriend for like 5 seconds. Justice for my man Chad, okay? Justice for Chad. He has to break up with all of Tawny's boyfriends that she doesn't like, which was the funny part, but he messes that up. He has to give Grady a pep talk, but he messes that up. He has to do something with Nico, but he messes that up. He has to do something with Zora as well, but he messes that up. And then it turns out that Sonny just wanted a vacation from them. She wasn't dealing with her sick mother or something. She literally just was like, yeah, I don't want to deal with any of your guys' bullshit. I'm gonna lie to you. I'm gonna ditch you. But if Chad had done that, which he may or may not have done later on, but if he had done that, she would have been all like, oh, we're breaking up, Chad, we're breaking up for the 50th time, and that's final, and it's over. But because it's her, it's like, you can't even be mad at her. It's Sonny, you can't even be mad at her. Don't blame this relationship failure on Chad. You know you've made your mistakes, and every time you just swiftly move past your mistakes, but with Chad, you have to break up with him all the time. Just saying. I don't know if I'm being generous or what, but this is another filler episode that I actually really like. Is that going to dethrone my previous favorite episode of the season? Is that going to dethrone the Check It Out Girls? Well, for sure, because that one had some other parts. This one I like. And he's gonna go all the way over here. Yeah, here. Just stay here.
Cause I'm the boss. I'm in charge.
Yeah, okay.
Unless my mommy calls.
Marshall, it's your mother. I want you home by 6 so we can go girdle shopping. For you.
We have this completely random Marshall episode, which I like the concept of. I like the idea of having a Marshall episode, and I also like him having some sort of a crazy one-man show that fails miserably. But come on, right at the very end of the season, right before the catastrophe of the final Channy breakup, really? It's overall not that interesting, but it's I'm glad that it exists. Every episode in this tier, I'm like, it shouldn't have existed. It could have very easily been replaced. There's no reason why it exists other than to honestly be iCarly ripoff, but this episode actually, even though I guess if you want to be nitpicky, it has some similarities with iCarly, but this episode has a full right to exist. I'm gonna put it over here next to the previous Marshall episode. It's not as strong. On one hand, I want to be like, justice for Marshall. He deserved more attention. But on the other hand, I'm like, am I gonna put this episode in here? No. It's a fine tier for this episode. But also, should this episode be above these two Tony episodes? Should it really be above the Tony episodes? Maybe I should put it lower. No, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put all these episodes higher, right? No, I'm actually gonna put all these episodes lower. No, let me redo that again. Okay, this episode goes here. This episode goes here. That's how it is. Okay.
You guys, stop eating. I have big news.
The Sonny with a Chance season premiere starts with one stylish idea.
Tawny Hearts Extreme Skinny Jeans.
If those jeans can make you guys look good, it can make us look even better.
These pants are so skinny.
But these pants
I can't feel my legs.
have everyone squeezing together.
SPS is skinny pants syndrome. This is a very serious condition.
What is happening? SPS is happening.
For a very trendy cause.
We can conquer skinny pants syndrome. Don't wear the pants. Don't wear those pants. They are skinny.
Oh, they're so skinny. It's the season premiere of Sonny. Sunday at 8/7 Central.
Which is probably the season 2 episode I've seen the most. I don't know why I watched it so much as a kid, but I ate it up. And honestly, it still holds up. It's a pretty decent episode. It's nothing spectacular. It's not one of my favorites of the series overall, but I do like it. I do think it's funny in places. And it might be the nostalgia thing because I watched it like 1 million times. Or maybe because Sonny and Chad's dynamic feels like season 1. Maybe it's because they still hadn't turned Chad from a charismatic asshole to a lame loser. Maybe that's why. It's a solid episode. It's gonna go all the way up in the second best check it out tier, but which episodes will it be above? Above the Grady episode, maybe above the Zora episode, maybe above both Zora episodes. Actually, I'm gonna switch these two. This one was definitely the better Zora episode. Is it above the prom episode? I don't think so. And I'm also going to put down the Glendovia episode. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that.
Sonny and Chad.
I'll kiss you for real when pigs fly.
They're rarely on the same side.
Good.
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 Yet it's hard to deny a certain connection.
This is sweet.
I have my moments.
And now,
When two people are this right for each other, there's only one thing to do.
Guess I feel the same way.
Well, then do something about it.
Okay, I will.
Great.
Sonny, will you go out with me?
see what happens next.
Sonny binges Mackenzie Falls with her mom and falls in love with the show and then asks Chad for spoilers, but he thinks that she's asking him for a date. He asks her on a date, which is super cute up until that point. But then they make it kind of annoying with how awkward their dynamic gets right after that. And the randoms are being super annoying now. And then the second episode, which is their actual date, is even more awkward. The good thing about this episode is the gesture that Chad does at the end. The bad thing about it is that it's just so awkward. That's not the Channy dynamic we know and love.
Just one question.
Sonny, will you go out with me?
Has everyone looking for answers?
You don't think those guys like each other, do you?
A little fancy for pizza night, aren't you?
Now it's Sonny and Chad's big night.
Are you okay?
I'm good. Good, I'm cool.
And once the secret's out...
I can't believe we're finally doing this.
Neither can I.
Imagine how we feel!
Hey, guys! What are you guys doing here?
Nothing will be the same.
How could you? And on pizza night, too.
We will never be cool with this! Ever!
It's the date that'll have you saying...
Oh my gosh, I can't believe they just did that!
Sonny and Chad's big night.
The second part of the two-parter marks the charismatic asshole Chad Dillon Cooper's demise and the birth of the lame loser Chad Dillon Cooper. It's just a completely different character from then on. I've never seen flanderization that happens like this. It took a while for the other characters to get flanderized. And I mean, even though Nico and Grady are becoming dumber and dumber, especially Grady, their flanderization is not that bothersome. Tony's flanderization is a little sad because I loved her as a character, then she became just there. She just became the girl that's there. Like, Chad's flanderization was just so devastating. So devastating. So the first two episodes I'm going to put in the mid tier, right about here. But below this episode, below the episode where they do the report that was supposed to be on Sonny, right about here. Gonna put both of them right about here.
Sonny Monroe is not the girl she says she is.
Someone's got it out for Milady.
A shocking 1 hour Sonny.
You're off so random.
Another two-parter right after the first two-parter. And this one I actually had missed quite a lot of as a kid. I don't know why I didn't even remember the parts with Penelope at all. Maybe I had missed them. I mean, it was pretty obvious that she's gonna be the bad guy because this girl has not spoken this whole entire time. But now all of a sudden she speaks so much and Chad wants her to be friends with Sonny for some reason. So of course she's gonna be the bad guy. The second episode finally features Zora, which is always nice. But like, Sonny's gonna go back to Wisconsin anyway because it's been 1 year since she left. But then this girl Penelope is secretly trying to ruin her life because she's jealous of Chad. And then another super dumb reason that Sonny breaks up with Chad, honestly this one might be the worst, is that when every single person didn't believe her for a good reason, and Chad stuck with her till the end, but at the very end, he doubted her. He didn't even fully say, I am sure that you exposed me. I am sure of it. He was just like, I'm just confused. I'm so confused. He was immediately like, I'm breaking up with you. As my boyfriend, you cannot doubt me for 0.5 seconds, even though I have doubted you and not trusted you every single episode where our relationship has been in the main focus. But you cannot do that.
The thing about that is that Chad actually has more of a good reason to break up with her, but he doesn't. So Chad shares a very embarrassing secret about himself with Sonny, and nobody else knows about it. It's just Sonny. And then that secret gets leaked, and then Chad is confused. Like, he doesn't even flat out say, how could you? You know, it was all you. I know it was all you. He was just like very confused because he trusts her, but at the same time she's the only person who knows about this. So instead of him being like, oh, I'm breaking up with you because you exposed my secret, he's like, I'm just confused. And then she's like, well, screw you then. If you're confused, I'm gonna break up with you because you don't believe me 1,000,000% all the time, even in such a crazy situation where Sonny would for sure doubt him and she for sure will be the one to break up with him if the roles were reversed, because we've even seen her not trust him time and time again in the previous two-parter. So yeah, I'm just like, what are you doing, Sonny? Not to be completely team Chad on this, but I'm completely team Chad on this.
In the second episode, Zora comes back from some sort of a detective school, and there's the gag that she's actually a terrible detective and is missing super obvious clues. And that gag I like, it didn't get annoying, even though it was pretty obvious. It was going in an obvious direction, but like a nice obvious. The random soul thing that Tawny wants to sabotage Sonny, but turns out it's Penelope. This is probably the best going of Channy's relationship, and they're broken up for half of the two-parter. So, yeah. Not a good look, but I will put both of these episodes in the solid middle, but at the very, very beginning of the mid-tier.
Sonny's got an amazing guest star in your future. Raven's back.
That's me.
As president of the Chad Dylan Cooper fan club.
She's gonna help you get your million fans.
And she's got some very tough advice.
Sonny Monroe, gotta go.
There is no way that Chad would break up with me to get his million fans. What's it gonna be? Yeah, Chad, what's it gonna be?
Raven guest stars on a Sonny special event that's so Sonny.
Yet another episode of Chad being a total lame loser. He's a shell of the person he used to be. His popularity is dwindling because he is with Sonny, which is making him a lame loser. Miss Raven Simonia, who is hilarious in this episode and is totally not a ripoff of iCarly, iPsycho. Totally not a ripoff of that. Even though they literally call her Psycho at the end, so you know, it's obviously a ripoff of iPsycho. Technically, Sonny kind of breaks up with him this episode as well, but it's not really like one of their breakups that are super annoying. It's just her being like, oh, I'm ruining your chance of being famous. And that's a good showing for Chad, again, because he does not put his fans above Sonny. So I'm gonna put it all the way over here.
You are never going to believe what just happened to me.
Sonny has an unbelievable vision.
I just saw 2 Chads.
Okay.
Why are there 2 of you?
You're seeing double. Gotta go.
It's one big secret.
Ah! Mix it up.
That leads to a shocking revelation.
What is going on?
I have a really good reason.
We're over. Our whole relationship has been a lie.
Then, surprise, surprise, Chad has been replaced by a stunt double this whole time. Every date that he didn't want to go to, and he says it's only the dates that put him in danger, but I'm sure some of those put him in danger of total boredom. So, Sunny was technically dating this Chaz Milton Looper guy, and she kind of breaks him up with his girlfriend because she thinks that that's Chad, who's doing this to cheat on her with this other girl, but it's not this Chaz Milton Looper who is with this girl, but technically Chaz Milton Looper is cheating on this girl with Sunny. Not the way that Sunny thought of it, but technically he is because he's been over there dating Sunny, not having told his girlfriend about it. And I mean, as we later find out, him and Sunny literally do nothing. They haven't kissed. They're being way too Christian even for the early 2010s Disney Channel. They haven't even kissed. So dating for them is literally just hanging out. So it's not that big of a cheater situation, but Chaz Milton Looper is still dating someone else, pretending to be someone else, well, with a girlfriend. So that's a bad look on you, Chaz. Chad would never. Kind of. So Sonny breaks up with him. We also find out that Nico and Grady are literally the best. If season 1 worked because of Channy, then season 2 wasn't cancelled abruptly just because of Nico and Grady. They are the perfect couple of besties, and they are lucky that their show happened at the time it happened and not a couple of years later. And coming back to Chad, I might be alone here. People will be like, oh, that's indefensible. How can you defend that? But I'm gonna defend that. And listen, my defense is that, okay, like, start over, but like, don't break up with him all the time. Like, that's so annoying. Like, okay, Sonny, like, okay, you might have technically never actually dated him realistically because he was always using his clone, and I want to pretend that the reason why he became such a lame loser is because it was Chaz who was the loser, not Chad. But no, it's very clear that it was Chad who had devolved into a loser. But you know what, son, even though we didn't technically date him at all up to that point, you know, just don't be like, you know, like, okay, my man makes one mistake, like, big deal. Like, just say, okay, we're gonna start over. Don't be like, I'm breaking up with you. I'm not gonna give you a second chance until you start crying like a baby because you can't ride a bicycle. It's like, just stop breaking up with him. You breaking up with him every 5 seconds is like way less cool. So like, leave my boy Chad alone, okay? He's allowed to be an asshole because first of all, that's the whole reason why you fell for him. That's how he always was. And also he's hot. That's why he's allowed to be an asshole. Just cut him some slack. Quit being such a nagger all the time. Jeez, Sonny. Jeez. It's gonna be somewhere in the mid-tier because the Nico and Grady moments carry. But also Nico and Grady are in this rut, kind of. So that's also not super great. But then, again, they are meant to be each other's bestie. And just bestie. Just bestie. So I don't know, like, maybe below the Dakota episode. Over here, yeah. Above that episode.
It's a secret nobody expected.
Tell us all about your first kiss.
It actually hasn't happened yet.
And everyone's making it their business.
Sonny and Chad sitting in a tree. That's it, just sitting.
A kiss should be natural and spontaneous.
They'll do things their way.
Sorry.
Or not at all.
Can't take it anymore.
What should we do?
Sonny with a kiss?
And then moving on to the episode that's not a copy of one iCarly episode. It's not a copy of 2 iCarly episodes. But it's a copy of a whopping 3 iCarly episodes. But the B-plot line with Nico and Grady, iCarly actually copied from Zack and Cody. So Disney is just getting their property back. You saw that one first from Zack and Cody, okay? Turns out these 17, almost 18-year-olds who have known each other for like a year and some time, like a year and a half or so, 2 17-year-olds, nearly 18, still haven't even kissed. I mean, it's a good thing because she had been dating a different guy. So it's a good thing that they hadn't shared their first kiss. But still, guys, come on. Way too Christian even for the Disney Channel at the time. Give each other a smooch. Don't blame the Channy shippers. Blame each other for becoming lame losers. This episode, even as an 8-year-old, got me so mad. I was so mad. And I was just like, just kiss! But they would constantly be like, oh, let's break up, let's break up, let's break up. Stop breaking up for a 5 seconds challenge. Do that challenge. Can you? Apparently not. I mean, the kiss there was pretty good, but that kiss this episode might have been a little bit too good. That was a bit too much. As an adult watching, I'm like, that was a bit too much. Leave some room for Jesus, please. But as a kid, I was like, finally. Even though the whole episode had made me super angry, the kiss, I loved that as a kid. Now as an adult, I'm like, okay, that was a good kiss. Maybe it was a bit too good. So where would this episode go? It got on my nerves so much, but it had a nice payoff for like a second there. After their 50th breakup, Sonny. How about that? The very bottom of the mid-tier. That's what this episode deserves.
So Random is up for a Tween Choice Award.
This is big. Oh, yeah, huge.
Against Mackenzie Falls.
Right. There are no losers.
Aww.
And one incredible surprise
And the choice he goes to.
changes both shows forever.
I'm gonna fix this.
We are all in shock.
You did what now?
I did not see that coming.
I think we all remember what happened at that final episode. It doesn't need a recap, but the randoms kind of win when Chad is really mad. He orders a recount. Turns out they didn't actually win, which is not Chad's fault. If they had won in reality, and it wasn't just a stupid miscount, Chad would have had no choice but to get over it eventually, and it would have happened. But no, that stupid jury had to miscalculate the results. And also, Sonny gloats. She gloats that they kicked Mackenzie Falls' ass. She gloats about it. And that's completely fine. That needs to be pushed under the rug and not even acknowledged. And then you're gonna, oh, I'm breaking up with you. And we are never, ever, ever getting back together, in the words of Miss Taylor Swift, which I don't think she would have been that eager to quote, but you know. And of course, because Chad at this point is a lame loser, he couldn't get her back. But it was so terrible. This was the last episode I watched, actually. If I avoided on purpose, I had good taste. If I missed it on accident, I'm glad I missed it still. And this episode is going over here.
You know what would be cool is if I could perform my own songs. You know what else would be cool? If we were on a hit TV show and didn't have to perform in a coffee house.
Where Sonny sings an all-new song.
Tell me what to do.
And Grady
Feet off the table, Grady.
She knows my name.
catches the new girl's eye.
Is he seeing anybody?
And this other episode is going right over here as well. This is just okay, this one, if it wasn't for their tragic breakup and never ever getting back together, if it wasn't for that, this episode wouldn't be that bad. But this episode over here, the very last episode is just so awful. Can you believe it that Grady ends up with a girl? Grady! And not Chad Dylan Cooper. I mean, Grady deserves it. Grady is awesome. But this girl, I hate this girl. I hate this girl. First of all, if they had made season 3 with Demi and this girl, people would have been shipping them, I am sure. I hate this new character. Also, every single episode is some sort of a pun with the name of Sonny or the name of the show. But this one episode's called New Girl. Absolutely not. And they would have made that coffee place a regular set where I assume Demi would sing her songs regularly, as if, which Tony even pointed out in the episode, as if they don't have a sketch comedy show. Why can't she, when she's done it twice already, not even twice, like 3 times. Yeah, she sang on the show if she wants to sing, because that's apparently something that Sonny Monroe does now. Let's remember that this has to be Sonny Monroe, but apparently Sonny Monroe now wants to sing for some reason, and she can't do it on the show until she's already done it on the show. Like doing it on a popular show like this, popularity that varies from episode to episode, but you know, doing it in front of people on a stage and then on TV, that's not important. What's important is singing at a local cafe for like 5 people who probably all have headphones, and that's the real artistry. Oh, season 2 would have been so bad. Grady gets an end game, but Chad Dylan Cooper doesn't get an end game. And then, if that's not bad enough, my man Chad Dylan Cooper decides to become a full-time simp and joins So Random when Sonny's not even there. Because I mean, of course, they can't just be like, yeah, Sterling, I know we like got you as a main cast member, but like, gotta go now, this is So Random now, it's a completely different show now. So instead they were like, your character is now gonna be a total lame loser simp. He's gonna do all this thing for Sonny and she's not even gonna care. She's gonna be like off somewhere, like we don't even know. There's no point in specifying. Maybe they specify, I don't know. I've never watched that show, so it can be like, they never specify what happened.
Hey, I'm Demi Lovato from Sonny with the Champ. And you're watching Disney Channel.
Here's my extensive theory to what happens to every single character. Well, the ones that matter, that is. Completely disregarding So Random, but I feel like So Random doesn't really focus on the characters' lores, or at least that's what it feels like from reading the Wikipedia summary, because I've never watched the show, but you know. At first I was like, maybe Sonny goes to college because her mom would have forced her, but Sonny just doesn't seem to be the type of girl to care about education. I think she would like to ride out the fame wave, and since they made her now randomly super obsessed with singing now, I feel like she would take a break from So Random to focus on her solo career and do like a traveling act where she does comedy and sings. Something like a tour that might be paired with her own show, but that's what I think she will be doing, instead of just going to college because her mom said so. Because it does seem like she would do anything for her mother, but it just don't seem like she's that keen on education. From the one episode they did that focused on her at school, it did not seem like she cared about it. And even though I'm not sure that season 1 Sonny will go out to be a singer, but I feel like season 2 and post season 2 Sonny will probably go out to be like a singer, performer, but also like have comedy acts at her show, like something like that I think she would do. And with the rise of streaming instead of traditional TV, maybe she would also pivot in that direction as well. And Chad would quit his job at Mackenzie Falls. He would completely abandon the Mackenzie Falls show because he sees this as the reason why he lost Sonny. So in order to prove to her that he cares more about her than the show, he's going to join So Random. And I like to think that Sonny watched him on the show and they talked at first just friendly, but then the feelings came back, and I like to think that they started dating while Sonny was still touring, and then she came back to LA to probably work on some other solo show about her. Maybe wanted to replace So Random completely. And Chad would also continue his acting career, but now he'll be more humbled and more in it for the acting, not so much the fame and amenities. I imagine that because of the So Random show, Tawny would get like a movie deal and she'll become like a big movie star, like an A-list movie star. She can even have like a lifestyle brand. Since canonically her favorite lipstick, Coco Moco Coco, was discontinued, maybe she can bring that back and start selling it in her lifestyle brand. Then Nico and Grady would also branch out into their own like duo act, comedy duo act. They can do tours, they can have their own shows, they can have their own movies, but I see them branching out of So Random, but as a duo. And maybe with Grady now having a girlfriend, there can be some trouble in paradise for these two until Nico also gets a girlfriend. But I see them as like a super big comedy duo. Zora, I think once she grows up, she will sort of fade of the traditional spotlight, but she will pop every now and again and be kind of like an eccentric, kind of like Weird Al Yankovic type of figure, you know? I feel like that's what she would do, and she can like cameo in some of Tawny's movies, she can appear in some of Nico and Grady's shows, she can appear on Sonny's show, but I feel like she'll mostly be staying out of the spotlight and then just be like this eccentric figure with like a very specific dedicated fan base, but not someone that's like a household name, you know, like a niche type of quirky actress. I also think that after her dad grounded her, little Dakota is going to like murder her dad and is going to stage it as an accident so that she inherits his entire business, like everything that he owns, all of the shows he owns, and she will be like even more of a gajillionaire, and Marshall will actually end up marrying the teacher that Sonny and gang had whenever they would attend school, sort of. And he would also be the producer slash manager of Sonny's shows, Nico and Grady's shows, and even some of Tawny's projects. I would imagine lots of Zora's projects as well. And maybe in like 20 years he would produce a So Random comeback show. But I imagine him becoming like so rich off of this that he'll be able to buy everything off of Mr. Condor, which now would be owned by Dakota, who would gladly sell everything so that she can be even more of a gajillionaire. And everybody else that appeared on the show, I would deem irrelevant. Oh, Gassy. Yeah, I would also imagine that Sonny also legally adopts Gassy the moment she leaves for her solo act. That's what happened to them after the show in my head.
Hey guys, I'm Sterling Knight from Sonny with a Chance, and you're watching Disney Channel. Check this out. That's what I do.
And finally, let's go through the overall ranking once again, because I've changed up some places, and also based on the screenshots it might not be clear which episode is which. So in the first tier we have the top 5 best episode. Number 1 is season 1 episode 4, number 2 season 1 episode 9, number 3 season 1 episode 2, number 4 season 1 episode 3, and number 5 season 1 episode 17. In the second best tier we have the check it out tier with 12 episodes. Number 1 season 1 episode 5, number 2 season 1 episode 1, number 3 season 1 episode 10, number 4 season 1 episode 6, number 5 season 1 episode 11, number 6 season 2 episode 16, number 7 season 2 episode 1, number 8 season 2 episode 15, number 9 season 2 episode 19, number 10 Season 2, Episode 2, number 11, Season 1, Episode 20, and number 12, Season 2, Episode 9. In the mid-tier, which is Sicky Vicky, we've got 11 episodes. Number 1, Season 2, Episode 13. Number 2, Season 2, Episode 12. Number 3, Season 1, Episode 8. Number 4, Season 2, Episode 10. Number 5, Season 2, Episode 11. Number 6, Season 1, Episode 13. Number 7, Season 1, Episode 7. Number 8, Season 1, Episode 14. Number 9, Season 1, Episode 19. Number 10, Season 2, Episode 20. And number 11, Season 1, Episode 12. In the fourth tier, which is where we start off the bad episodes, we've got 10 episodes. Number 1, Season 2, Episode 21. Number 2, Season 2, Episode 17. Number 3, Season 2, Episode 24. Number 4, Season 1, Episode 16. Number 5, Season 1, Episode 18. Number 6, Season 1, Episode 15. Number 7, Season 2, Episode 22. Number 8, Season 2, Episode 23. Number 9, Season 1, Episode 21. And number 10, Season 2, Episode 5. And in the last tier, which is the bad tier, we have Chaz Milton Looper with 9 episodes. Number 1, Season 2, Episode 6. Number 2, Season 2, Episode 8. Number 3, Season 2, Episode 4. Number 4, Season 2, Episode 18. Number 5, Season 2, Episode 3. Number 6, Season 2, Episode 7. Number 7, Season 2, Episode 14. Number 8, Season 2, Episode 23. And number 9, Season 2, Episode 28. So the best episode of the whole series, in my opinion, is Season 1, Episode 4. And the worst, absolute worst, is Season 2, Episode 26, which is the last episode. And looking back, a few months after I initially recorded this video and made the tier ranking, I still pretty much agree with all of it. I would probably switch some places in the mid-tier, but because I don't remember those episodes as well as I remember them back then, and also it's the mid-tier, so they're probably all pretty much the same level of quality, I think this is the ultimate Sunny with a Chance episode ranking, in my opinion. Looking back in the video, I wish I gave more recaps, but going forward, when I make future videos like this, I will definitely spend more time on recap, and I might be even working on more videos like this, but with a lot more recap, so who knows?
Birthday song.